You won't believe what's unfolding in NASCAR right now, and I mean this on a scale bigger than any controversy we've seen in recent memory. Everywhere you look in the garage, in fan threads, on social media, and in the world of NASCAR pundits, the name Cletus McFarland has become one of the most talked about topics heading into the 2026 season, because NASCAR has officially cleared him to race in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series with Richard Childress Racing, and fans aren't happy about how it happened. Now, let's break down what's happening. Take a quick second to hit that like button, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News, and turn on notifications. We're building this channel for real NASCAR fans who love the drama, the stories behind the scenes, and the moments that shake the racing world. We're also getting closer to 1,000 subscribers, and honestly, every single subscription really motivates me to keep bringing you these NASCAR stories. If that sounds like you, you're in the right place. All right, here's the situation. Cletus McFarland, born Garrett Mitchell, is a massive online personality with millions of YouTube subscribers. But that's exactly what's become the central issue here. Because despite relatively limited on-track experience, NASCAR has approved him to compete in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series in 2026 for RCR in the number 33 Chevrolet. His first scheduled start is coming up on April 4 at Rockingham Speedway. Now, let's be clear. Making it into a NASCAR National Series at any level is a dream come true for any driver. Not everyone gets that opportunity. But this situation is not being perceived as earned in the traditional way, and that's exactly why the backlash is so intense. Here's the context. McFarland's on-track RSum up to this point consists of just a handful of starts, 5 in the ARCA Menard Series with a best finish of 9th, and a single NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series start that ended in a crash on lap 6 in Daytona's season opener. It was a brutal end to what was supposed to be a milestone debut, and it left plenty of people scratching their heads. So when word came down that NASCAR had approved him to race in O'Reilly cars, which are heavier, faster, and intensely competitive machines designed to prepare drivers for the Xfinity and Cup Series, some voices in the sport flipped out. And one of the most viral reactions came from Bubba Wallace's spotter, Freddie Kraft. On social media, Kraft pointed out the glaring irony of the situation, essentially mocking the approval process by calling out the lack of traditional experience and saying, "Crash at the Rockingham truck test. Crash lap 5 of your only truck start. Good enough for me. Approved." That one comment alone sparked a wildfire, because it didn't just question Cletus's preparedness, it questioned NASCAR's entire approval process. And whether you love Cletus or not, the reality is that when a known professional in the sport makes that kind of comment, fans take notice. Across fan feeds and message boards, you're seeing the same themes over and over. He's a YouTuber with millions of followers. Why is that enough to leapfrog the normal development path? Drivers with real experience are still waiting for approval, while this guy rockets straight into the O'Reilly Series? Is NASCAR prioritizing views and attention over safety and merit? And on, and on. Now, some people are being a bit more thoughtful about it. A few insiders have pointed out that what's happening might just be a new era of development. Bringing internet personalities with huge followings into mainstream NASCAR competition could bring fresh eyes and fans to the sport. There is a case for that argument. But even that has its critics. It still doesn't explain why the approval standards seem to have been so relaxed for McFarland compared to others who have spent years grinding through lower divisions before even sniffing a National Series ride. In the middle of all that noise, Cletus McFarland himself has finally spoken out, and his response has fueled the fire even more. Instead of backing down or trying to quiet the backlash, he's doubled down. On the Dale Jr. Download podcast, he said critics can talk all they want. that he's used to people dismissing him and that he'll just keep showing up and enjoying the experience no matter what anyone thinks. As long as I'm having fun, he said, I'm going to keep showing up at these NASCAR races. Whether it's ARCA, Trucker, or Riley's, their words won't change the fact that I'm going to try again. Now that response might sound confident, but for many fans and even professionals inside the garage, it comes across as dismissive of the very real concerns about safety and experience. Because at the end of the day, this isn't a YouTube video where you can cut to a highlight reel. This is going 190 miles an hour with real cars, real stakes, and real consequences. And let's talk about the sport itself. NASCAR has always been a mix of meritocracy and entertainment. But in recent years, as the sport looks to broaden its appeal, there's been a constant balancing act between honoring the traditional driver development ladder and experimenting with new ways to attract younger fans. McFarland's rise hits that crossroads perfectly, and perhaps that's why this particular story has hit such a nerve. What makes this even more explosive is the timing. Just as the season is about to pick up, instead of talking about wins, strategy, or intense rivalries, team principals, drivers, and fans are debating whether NASCAR's approval rules are broken. Some argue that a guy with one truck start and minimal stock car racing shouldn't be anywhere near the Nopes grid yet. Others say, hey, if NASCAR cleared him and a legendary team like RCR puts him in a car, he deserves the shot. This isn't just chatter anymore. This is the kind of conversation that has the potential to reshape how NASCAR handles driver approvals going forward. Because if a driver with a massive online audience can advance this quickly, what does that mean for the next generation? What does that mean for guys who have spent years climbing the ladder the traditional way? And maybe most importantly, how do fans react when it feels like entertainment value trumps competitive integrity? Now, I'm not here to tell you who's right or wrong. That's up to you. But one thing is certain. When Cletus McFarland takes the green flag at Rockingham, it will not just be a race. It will be a litmus test for NASCAR's personality-driven era, for the approval system, and for how the sport balances tradition with new audiences. Some people believe this could be huge for NASCAR, bringing new fans, fresh energy, and big media numbers. Other fans fear this is a slippery slope that lowers the bar too far and undermines what hard-earned track experience really means. Either way, this story isn't going away. It's going to get bigger, louder, and even more heated as we edge closer to the April race. So, let me know what you think. Should Cletus McFarland even be approved for Nopes races yet? Is NASCAR prioritizing the wrong things? Is this a turning point, good or bad, for the sport? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Be passionate. Be honest. This is exactly the kind of debate real NASCAR fans live for. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of one of the most surprising NASCAR stories of the season, make sure you like the video, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the biggest controversies, rivalries, and behind-the-scenes moments happening across the NASCAR world. This isn't just an announcement. This is a turning point. We'll see you at Rockingham and beyond.